Alright guys, welcome back to another short Python tutorial. Today's episode we're going to be looking at more on string formatting really quickly. Last episode was a bit long, so I had to fast forward this kind of information to today's episode. Now here I've typed up a very specific piece of code. You're going to see something you already know, a print function, which we discussed in the last episodes. And inside that print function you have a very long piece of text. Now, this is slightly confusing first, but let's split it up into its different functions. You have a string. This is a string with n, and then you have these curly brackets here for some reason. The string closes here, and then you have this dot format function, and inside of the format function, as we know functions have two brackets, you have another string which says insert. Now let's see what happens when we run this. You get, this is a string with an insert. Now, how does this and why is this important? When typing out strings, it may be important to type in some information later, and the dot format function allows us to do this. So let's print out something else. Let me type it this time. This is how you add, and remember, we're going to put curly brackets to represent where we want some text to be added, and outside the dot format function, and as it is a function, we use two more brackets, and in it we add the extra information, which in this case add info. And now when we run this, you get, this is how you add info. This is actually a really simple function, and it has many uses. For example, if we said dot format word, and we said word, we previously said word was equal to info. Now let's see what happens when we run this. That's what happens. This is why it's useful, because imagine this was changed to, this is how you add information. Look what happens when you run it. This is how you add information. This dot format function allows us to concatenate words to a string. It's much more useful than this string concatenation. It's a much more clean way of doing it, and it's important to know. But this form of string concatenation can also have a very interesting function, which is you can add multiple dot formats and multiple text and concatenate it up into one string. For example, let's do another function, print, and inside the brackets we do a string. This is the first three letters in the alphabet. And then here we do one curly bracket, two curly bracket, and three curly bracket. Now we're going to use a dot format function, and we're going to do in its brackets 1, 2, 3. Now let's see when I run this what happens. This is the first three letters in the alphabet, 1, 2, 3. Simple, right? Each of these curly brackets represent 0, 1, and 2. For example, this one will assign to 1, this one will assign to 2, and this one will assign to 3. This is how you add multiple info. But it's a very cool function of the dot format too. Let's say you want to re-scramble this. Now we know 1 is represented by the 0 place, definitely in Python at least. So let's put 1 here, 0 here, and 2 here. The value changes. It becomes 2, 1, 3. Quite interesting, right? And that really summarizes how you use the dot format function. If you guys want to know more about string formatting, I'm not going to go really into it in this sort of lecture, but you guys could search it up. There's a lot of resources definitely online which will teach you about more in string formatting. Alright, that summarizes this episode. Thank you all for watching. If you got all the way to the end, thank you so much again. And please leave a sub, press the notification bell to catch up on the latest Python videos. And again, thank you all so much, and see you in the next one. Take care.